Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brooks Stanfield, Brookssstanfield. I'm a federal on-scene coordinator with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. In addition to the really critical, complicated work of recovering the workers of this facility safely, this Incident Command is also focused on protecting human health and the environment. I have the privilege to represent the United States Environmental Protection Agency and work alongside of our partners at the Washington Department of Ecology, members of the Cowlitz Indian Tribe, the Yakama Nation, and several other state, federal, and local agencies, including the Coast Guard, the City of Longview, the Cowlitz Dike Improvement District, just to name a few. We're all working very hard to ensure that the health and environment of this community is protected as we manage this delicate operation here on the plant facility. So I'm going to talk about how we're doing this in a couple of ways, two to three main focus areas of this work. So first of all, start with the easy part, which is air quality. We got here on Tuesday. EPA arrived and immediately began deploying air monitors to make sure that the air, both on-site and migrating off-site, was safe for the community to breathe. The main contaminant we were concerned with was hydrogen sulfide. Knowing what we know about this facility and the contaminants involved, I can report to you we've been monitoring 24 hours a day since we arrived here, and not only have we not seen any exceedances of health criteria, we have not actually had a detection of hydrogen sulfide or any of the other air contaminants we might have encountered. So that's really good news, but we will continue on with that air monitoring operation for the foreseeable future. The other main human health and environmental issue that we are managing and dedicating a lot of resources toward is the result of the discharge of high pH caustic liquid from the facility through the storm drain and into the ditch on the north side of Industrial Way here, just across the street. So obviously there was a large amount of volume that was released from the tanks in addition to fire water that entered into a storm drain. It ended up discharging into this industrial ditch, or the ditch on the north side of Industrial Way. That ditch is connected to a dike network that moves throughout the entire community of Longview. It literally runs through people's backyards. People have access to it. Dogs can swim in it. It's obviously something where there is a risk for people to come in contact with that liquid if we don't prevent them from doing so. So in the initial days, we saw elevated pH levels. That would have been Tuesday. We saw elevated pH levels in the ditch, mostly localized to the outfall near the facility, but over time we saw that pH migrating through the system. One major concern we have with this, besides the immediate health or safety of residents, is that this ditch sits on top of a sole source aquifer and a well field where the city of Longview gets its primary drinking water source from. So in consultation with the utilities here, we've been developing a plan to flush that high pH liquid away from that well field over the last couple of days. We began those operations yesterday. That strategy involves two main parts, which one is drawing fresh water from the Cowlitz River on the east side of this network and pushing the water west by diluting and flooding that and flushing that water to the west. At the same time, we are opening up two discharge pumps that discharge water to the Columbia River on the west side of this network. They are pulling that water to the west and discharging water to the Columbia River. Of course, so this is primarily an effort to get that water away from the drinking water wells. My colleague here, Chris Collins from the city of Longview, can speak to the cleanliness of the water and the safety of the water to drink. He's going to tell you that it is indeed safe to drink, and they're monitoring it very diligently, but it's something that we don't want to risk. So we're taking this threat seriously, and pushing this water to the west. As we push it to the west, we are also monitoring the pH of that water to make sure that any water that does get discharged to the Columbia River is in compliance with basically neutral water standards, trying to get as below a pH of 9 to get it to a normal pH that we would see in this system. Right now, the last report we got was at the 2 discharge points. One was discharging water of a pH of 7, and the other was water at a pH of 8.5. We're going to continue monitoring that. If we hit a pH of 9, we have some additional strategies we can employ to bring that pH down. I think the only other thing I want to say is that the ditches, we are monitoring those. There are still areas with elevated pH in the water there, and we are continuing and stay out of those ditches and dikes. And the last thing is that if people want more information, the Washington Department of Ecology has set up an incident website where you can get regular updates. The easiest way to locate that website is by going to Washington Department of Ecology's Facebook page.